Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Expert Division in the Christmas Links tournament. The video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdeming, so let's go for hole number 1. You can hear on my voice as well, I've been getting a little cold here, so that's why I maybe sound a bit funny. So we're going to start up with using a Titan ball, which is a power 3 ball. Max side spin to the right, which is 4.5, combined with 3 bars of top spin. I know I'm using 4 here, but 3 bars is going to be excellent. That's the magic number. We do adjust with max curl when it comes to the extra mile level 8 here. So max curl, and we're coming in here very nicely. You can see we're putting ourselves not close to any type of obstacles, but close enough to the green so we can ship it in for an eagle. Hole number 1 is going to be so important that you kind of need to, you just need to get there. If you do have a power 5 ball, a power 5 ball could be easier for you to handle. As for, you don't have to go with that much overpower, if so even overpower overall. But I wanted to show you that it is absolutely possible to secure an eagle with only a power 3 ball, and we do need to get an eagle. I can't stress that enough. Hole 1 must be an eagle, ladies and gentlemen. Also add 10% to your drive, which is needed because we're playing downhill, so have that in the back of your mind when you're playing. Also, before I ship it in for an eagle here, do not forget to check down in the video description down below for direct timestamps for the holes in this playthrough. And also, check out patreon.com/golfclashtommy if you do want to get the updated text guide, which actually are out at the moment. So that is going to be awesome. And the updated text guide, for those that may not know, those are the one where I describe in detail what you should do in the various situations here. So hole number 2, a par 3, and here is a kind of a tricky one, as it's easy to get fooled of that it's so open. We should just be rolling it down towards the pin, but the trick here is how can we secure a very safe birdie, but also how can we go for the pin. I'm going to be very close in this example. I'm going to just make one minor tweak, as you're going to see soon. First, we need to have in mind that we're playing this shot 15% extra, and that means that we are playing it 15% extra from medium distance of our club. Not from max, not from minimum, from medium distance of our club. And the 15% extra is due to the downhill approach that we are playing with. So our opponent is going to get it to green, and getting it fairly close. You can see how much this green actually rolls. It seems like it's going to stop, but it rolls and it rolls and it rolls, and gets it close, I would have to say. So our turn. Sniper is the club for me here, and I'm going to play this one with either like a Kingmaker most of all, but you can also play with a Titan, you can play with a Quasar, but I would prefer Kingmaker if I would be choosing. 4 bars of top spin. I'm playing here with 3 bars of side spin to the left, using the blue ring. Take a look at where the blue ring is right in a second, because I'm going to want to have the blue ring just touching the bunker on the right. And here from this situation, we're going to play 15% extra from medium distance of our club, which in this case is going to be around 8 rings. So we take our shot. You can see we bounce where we aimed, and then the second bounce come, and now we're coming in very nicely here, though we miss it just to the right. So the thing that we do want to change here, and I actually dropped this one for an hole in one when I changed it myself to the note that is in the updated text guides, is that we're going to play 4 bars of side spin to the left. 4 bars top, 4 bars side spin to the left, same type of adjustment. Then you're going to be, if not in, very close. Hole number 3, the first par 5 that we're going to play with. We're going to start by saying we're going to add 10% extra to this approach. As for the slight downhill approach, even though it doesn't look like it's going to be downhill. But I played downhill because that seems to be the number that is working. 10% extra, and we're going to play it from max distance of our club. And the thing that you want to achieve is that you do want to be as close there to the rough on the top. And how do we get there then? And I'm going to show you one way here. First, we need to see that we do have the extra mile level 8. Extra mile level 8 has 236 yards. Have that in the back of your mind. Extra mile level 7 has a little bit less. Thor's hammer has a little bit less. Apocalypse level 5 plus has 240, so a little bit more. I'm playing this one with some side spin to the right to just counter for the push that we're going to get from the left. But the key here is the top spin. I do want to play here with 1 bar. If I do have around as maximum 236 yards here on my club. If I would be having like the Thor's hammer 232, around 230, I would go with 1.5 bar. If I would be having 240 yards, then I would go slightly less than 1 bar of backspin, top spin. And that is going to be so important because we do not want to find ourselves in a position where we have a tough time to get this one to the green. And even though it is possible to play to the right, but this type of wind that we're having for our drive, it makes it so much harder to go and adjust down into the water and then almost max curl it to the right to get it where we want to. And it's not that we're getting an advantage for doing so. Sure, a little bit easier time to go for the green, but in the end, I believe this way is easy enough, if I would say. So, now our turn. You can see here I'm playing with the Cataclysm level 5. And if you do have the Cataclysm level 4 plus, you play with the Cataclysm. If you do not have that and you have the Cataclysm level 3 or below, then you play with the big dog. And the big dog needs to have, in my opinion, like it has the distance and it does have the top spin. I'm going max top spin as well, and then I adjust my rings, putting myself back up into max range of my club, and then going with 1 to 1.5 bar ball of curl outside the adjustment ring to the right. Coming in nicely here, did hit great though, but the great actually helped me get more straight towards the pin. So a nice shot here. This is a very technical second shot, but shouldn't be a problem for you. The drive is the key, put it close, and then you are going to be, put it close to the top, then you're not going to have any type of problems for the second shot in my opinion. Hole number 4, and I'm going to start with what I've been doing for the other holes. Add 10% to your adjustment due to the downhill approach. So we need to make an over adjustment of 10% from the position we are at. We're going to play the sniper here, and we're going to play the sniper in medium distance of our club. Important to have in mind there as well. And I'm going to make it even more simple for us. I'm going to first look for the landing position where I want to be. And now in this position here, I'm using 5 bars of backspin with almost max side spin to the right. So I took away 1 bar from the side spin 3 ball using the blue ring being by the rough to the right. And the thing I do want you to change is that I do want to be half of the invincible ring. I want to be like inside the rough on the right. So I don't want to have it that much that we're having here, because then we're going to be pushed a little bit too much to the right, even though we hit the spot we aim for. Nice speed. And the final piece in the puzzle here that I do want you to do to help you with your adjustment, play it 1-on-1. So if you do play with the sniper and you have the sniper with the power 3 ball, you play it as for 8 miles per hour, you play it 8 rings. 7.5 miles per hour, you're playing 7.5 rings. So 1-on-1, that is what it's called. So 1 ring per mile per hour. Hole number 5. It's going quick here in this playthrough, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to play the second part 5 of the tournament, and I kind of enjoy this one, to be honest. I think we're going to see some albatrosses dropping on this one because the wind is definitely in our favor.
The drive is of course the key. If we cannot make the drive being on fairway, then we're going to say almost bye-bye to the eagle. And even in this way here, it's going to be hard enough to get it to the green. Or I would say he will not get it to green. Maybe close, but it's going to be tough. I'm going to play 2 bars of backspin, max side spin to the left. And that applies to all of the drivers that you're going to use. Thor's Hammer, Extra Mile, Apocalypse. And here I'm using half of the red ring inside the rough on the left as a reference here to start with. And now you can see I'm pulling out my target, like I'm dragging it out to just picture myself so I can see the second bounce being on top of the bunker. From that position, I'm adjusting my rings, which is going to be max distance number with a 10% over adjustment due to that we're playing downhill. And look, this beauty, putting ourselves close to the top but not close so we would be afraid in this case. So this will put ourselves for a very, I would say, a very good spot for an albatross here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why I'm saying ladies and gentlemen all the time, but it's a good spot for us. And we're going to, of course, go for it. And our opponent here is using the Nirvana level 7. He should be putting himself very close. But to get it close to the green, you need to max overpower. And we all know that has been playing this game and tried it before. Overpower with rough iron or a sandwich is probably one of the tougher shots you can do in this game. Now our opponent makes this shot absolutely excellent. Max overpower, hit it very close to perfect and get it close to the green. But again, we do not want to find ourselves in that risk. Another time we maybe would have hooked that shot out into the rough or into the sand. Lining up, I'm playing with a wood club that gives me at least 172 yards. And you can see I'm in almost max range, having 2 yards in my favor here from max range. I'm going to use 2 bars of backspin, as you can see as well. The second bounce I do want to be around 1 ring before the fringe. Adjusting max number with no elevation adjustment, so we are not adding or subtracting anything. And then of course we do want to hit it perfect. And this is going to be coming in fairly nicely here, using a little bit too much backspin. And you can see here, just coming into the right here. Good approach, but take away those 2 bars, play 1.5 bar backspin instead, and that is going to definitely be more helpful for you. So now, hole number 6. This is going to be a short one because there isn't that much to use. I'm going to use Extra Mile level 8 here, and I'm going to go max top spin, and I'm also going max side spin to the right with my Berserker ball here, power 5 ball. You can see on the blue rings here, and you can rewind if you want to. I drag it up for where the point where I want to, drag it down into the center of the water, take it back, max overpower, and no curl whatsoever. And in this case, I am a little bit lucky to hit the rough instead of the bunker, but that works. The thing that you do want to have in mind here with this approach is that you do, in this case, don't want to go with any curl. You could also go with a snow globe ball, you can go with a turbo ball or maybe a ghost ball, but then you need to adjust more to the left. As for the wind is going to be stronger. If you do have an 11 miles per hour, aim more to the left. Also take away the side spin to the right, which is going to be key here. This is one of the perfect examples where I see an advantage of using a power 5 ball. I know we could try to hook or we can try to slice our shots, but with all this water and the wind arrow not being completely straight in the same direction as like every time for us, then the hook shot is going to be even more dangerous. So I do like to go with relying on the overpower shot and then go with that adjustment. So hole number 7, last par 3, and we're going to start with adding 10% extra to our shot. Take a look at the landing position here, where we're going to have the blue ring just by the rough on the right. And that is also something that is going to change. I'm going to repeat myself there in the end. 2 bars of backspin, as much side spin to the right as possible with a kingmaker as I'm having here. Now we're going to adjust this shot for being in max distance of our club with, as I said from the beginning, a 10% over adjustment. We hit it and we bounce, and we're coming in a little bit too much to the right, so the only thing I would like to change here is to move the landing position, so you do have, instead of the blue cutting rough, you do have half of the invincible ring down into the rough, and then you take your shot. That is going to help you be, of course, much, not much, but at least closer. I like the par 3s. You know, I like it because it's not easy, but it's possible to work with reference spots with the landing position, which is definitely going to help you out big time when it comes to improving your shots on the par 3s. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. The more subscribers we are, the more fun we're going to have as well. We are a lovely community where many players are joining in the Facebook community, on the team page, Team Golf Clash Tommy, and also on the Facebook group, Golf Clash United, where you can share your shots, share your knowledge, and the most important part, help each other out. So now this is going to be a little bit tricky. I'm not going with any overpower. I'm not risking that going with a berserker, as if I miss my drive with overpower, then it's a bye-bye ball and into the water. So I'm having half of the red ring inside the rough on the left. I'm using max top spin with the extra mile 8, which is 6 bars. But it's not necessary to use 6 bars. You can use as low as 4.5. I adjust my rings with 10% extra. Look at here in the end, I pulled the target up to the +3 yard mark. Instead of the +1 yard mark as we adjusted down to, I put it up 2 yards plus. And we're bouncing very nicely over here, and we get the ball to stop on the fairway. If you do rewind and you pause and you take a look of where my second bounce is, you can actually notice that we do not need to use the topspin that we're having here. We also didn't even need to change, like to put our ball up 2 yards in the end. So we could just let it be in the position we were at. So, and that is what we are going to do. The only thing that I will have to say, if you're using a club that gives you 4.5 or less, which is the extra mile 7 for an example, like this, then you do want to put it up those 2 yards. It's going to be important. But with a club that do give you 5, 6 bars of topspin, then you don't have to push it up as I did here. Be aware of that. If you be aware of the fact that if you can use more topspin than 6 bars, don't use it. Never use more than 6 bars of topspin, because that is most likely going to put you over the green, over the fairway, and rolling through the rough into the water. And then it's again bye-bye ball, and that we of course don't like. This should, in my opinion, also be an eagle. The par 4s definitely, in my opinion, requires a spot-on adjustment. It requires eagles to get to win this tournament. I would say we need a -30 to win. Otherwise, it's going to be very tough. Or it could some cases be even more. Here for hole number 9, here I'm playing straight forward on the left side. A little bit risky due to the skinny fairway there. I'm using max topspin. I'm using 2 bars of side spin to the left, and also using a Titan ball. The reason I'm using a Titan ball is that I do want to have a power 3 ball, but with as much wind in our back as possible. That to help our ball roll and also carry as far as possible here on the fairway. Be aware of here the fact that if you do make a drive where you're going to you make a drive and you hit it good on the right, good on the left, then you most likely going to hit the rough, and then you're going to have a problem to even make an eagle on this hole. So the drive here is massively important, but if you make the drive, you actually have a decent chance for a good shot for the albatross. And that is something that we of course do need to have in mind when we're going for this approach. In the end, I don't like to suggest it in pro and expert and in rookie, but a power 4 ball here, if you do have some to spare, could be a suggestion. That will take away the risk of going max overpower, where you have to go like around like 75% overpower instead, and that is going to be easier to handle. If you do have a club that gives you more topspin, let's say you have a Thor Sample level 6, use the max topspin, go with 50% overpower instead of the max overpower I did here, because I only had 6 bars of topspin. So a little bit here that we do need to think while we're doing here. So you can see here, I'm actually having a straight shot with straight wind, so this could potentially give ourselves a very decent shot for the albatross here. And I'm having the cataclysm here to just make sure that if we do go short with a dry, let's say we cut the rough and roll out, yeah, then it's better to have a cataclysm there than the sniper, for an example. I do have more yards. Having 3 bars of backspin, which is a mistake really. Go with 5 bars of backspin in this case, because the wind that we do have in our back is going to give us such an extended ball guideline, or such a push, that we, even if we get it close here, we're going to have a lot more speed, or coming in so hot. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this playthrough for expert, even though my voice and my nose ain't my favorite things today, but I hope you learned something. These are the adjustment that I do believe is going to show you and give you the opportunity to make a minus 15 plus. If you do get the luck, if you do hit the perfect, that's something that we do need to have in mind. If you do want to get the updated text, guys, where I go more into detail than what the video allows me to do here in terms of the holes going fairly quick, then check out patreon.com/golf-tommy and sign up there. Also, video here sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. Good luck in the Christmas Links tournament.